himself into the lead. Miles.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final champion.
Welcome everybody back to Cairo, Egypt for the conclusion of men's semi-finals. This is of course the first pentathlon event of the 2026 season. We're edging closer, ever closer to the Los Angeles Olympic Games. I kind of feel like the journey begins really here. For a lot of these athletes coming back from the Olympic routine, some of them are competing in this new format for the first time. It's got a lot warmer since this morning. 23 degrees was the weather for semi-final A. Semi-final B is a bit warmer at 29 degrees. Let's start our build up to semi-final B, then we will find out who the remaining 9 athletes are to compete in tomorrow's final. But firstly, let's take a look at how this sport is spread over 5 disciplines and how the rules have slightly changed in the past couple of months. So to start with, we have the fencing direct elimination. The athletes taking part in a seeding round yesterday, which has ordered them in the current order. 5 touches gets you through to the next round. 250 points maximum for the winning athletes. Then we move on to the obstacle, where it's 8 obstacles for the athletes to get past. The quicker you get through, the more points you get. The swimming has halved in length. It was 200 meters last year. Now it's 100 meters, much faster, and more points up for grabs for the athletes. We conclude with the ever exciting laser run. This year it is 5 shooting routines, 1 extra from 4 last year. No formation lap, it's straight into the range. The nerves are there for all to see right from the first lap. First over the finish line will of course be the winner, but it is semi-finals and it's all about getting inside that top 9. The battle for the top 9 is the name of the game with the semi-finals. So the stage is set here in Cairo, Egypt. Myself, James Anadakis, and we have a local here with us, as we have throughout the course of this competition. A former athlete, the wife of an Olympic gold medalist, the sister of an athlete competing in the final tomorrow. Who better than to help us describe the action other than Mariam Ahmed? Mariam, welcome back to the commentary.
Thank you. It's always amazing to be in the commentary box with you, James. And yeah, we've had such an interesting day so far, to say the least. We've had 9 athletes already book their spots in the finals, and now it's on to semi-final B.
These are the 18 athletes in front of you that will be taking part in this semi-final. We'll introduce them all one by one as they make their way out onto the field of play to take part in the first discipline of 5. So we'll explain the rules of fencing direct elimination shortly, but first let's introduce the athletes one by one as promised. First up is Kirill Karachin, 2025 Men's Junior Relay World Championship gold medalist, alongside partner Bobrov, won in a dramatic finish. Junior to senior transition. He's bottom seeded, but may surprise a few if he can get a good fence maybe perhaps in his bag. Matus Tuma, again part of the Czech team relay bronze team in 2025 European Championships. Next out is Danilo Sich from Ukraine. Had a good semi-final A at the 2025 World Championships. Balasep, Paris 2024 Olympian, came 9th in the final. Had a good battle with Tokyo Olympic gold medalist Jo Chung. Grigory Dokochayev picked up 14 wins in the seeding round. Alongside Yudislav Nestorau, who was just above him in the seeding round, picking up those 15 wins. Looks very focused as he makes his way out on towards the piece. Next up, Beileng Chen, starting to establish himself in the Senior World Cup circuit. Chinese team have brought out some numbers here to Cairo and picked up some good semi-final results. Tim Lei, 2024 Junior World Championship Men's Relay gold medalist. His sister, Cecile Lei, competing in the women's semi-final A. Next is Xiuhai Lo, another Olympian, back in the fold. Competed in the final in Paris. One of China's most experienced international competitors. Keep your eye on Mohamed Al-Ashkar, one of the sport's most exciting up-and-coming stars. Obstacle world record holder. You wait and see. In the obstacle, this boy can fly. Really good fun to watch, not just in the obstacle, across the whole of the competition. Yuladslav Barazavic is breaking into the senior circuit as well. 19 victories in the seeding round. Zombor Tarkiani from Hungary, adding to that depth in the Hungarian squad. Of course, Csababum, Kolosar and Sepp, his teammates. Matek Lukács was a silver medalist at the 2025 World Cup final. Bronze medalist at the 2025 World Championships. Mathis Rochat from France, very good athlete. And a silver medalist at World Championships, gold medalists, Junior World Championships. Marvin Dog, another Paris Olympian, is had a very, very good year in 2019, getting a silver medal at the World Cup final. Mahanad Hassan, another strong young Egyptian athlete.
Yeah, he's part of a very strong up-and-coming youth team. Mohamed Hassan, his obstacle is absolutely incredible, by the way.
Mahanad Shaban, one of the stars of the sport, arguably one of the favourites heading towards the conclusion of the 2019 season. And Hugo Floral leads the way, a 2025 World Cup final bronze medalist, and has had a fantastic seeding round.
Yeah, so these are the 18 athletes in our lineup for the semi-final B. We start today's action with the fencing direct elimination. So still a lot of ground to make up for here, as this starts us off as the first discipline of the day. We have two matches in the table of 32. We have Sich of Ukraine up against Tuma of Czech Republic, and Balashep of Hungary up against Karachin. Here we go then, final moments as the board is up on your screen now. These are the two matches at the top.
It's ominous when you see the board like that, isn't it? You see just how hard it is to get through to that final. 250 points awaits the winner, 244 for second place, and it gradually goes down by points the further down you are. The highest seeded athlete has at least a 9th place finish. So the worst Hugo Floral can finish if he goes out first in his round of 16 tie is 9th place, so not too bad.
Yeah, I guess that's the advantage with the seeding round. Here we go then, Piece A and Piece B. This is the round of 32. 60 seconds, 5 touches.
We've got some big athletes in this first battle as well. Tuma and Sepp. Sepp is a multiple World Cup medalist, an athlete we've enjoyed watching over the years. It's great to see him back in action here in Cairo this year. Karachin versus Sepp. And then on Piece A, on the top of your screen, is Sich versus Tuma.
So we are about to get underway now. Piece B with Balashep versus Karachin. It would be a big step up for Sepp, who scored ranked number 15th from the seeding round yesterday. We'll be looking to improve on that, as Piece A has already gotten underway Tuma and Sich. So closing up the distance nicely, trying to engage, and Sich is doing that disengage and opening up that distance quite well. Tuma goes for the flesh. It is a touch for his opponent of the Ukraine, Sich.
Now, if you are new to the sports, the little star you'll see just to the left of Sich and Sepp's names, that's the priority rule. So essentially what that means is they got the higher score than their opponent in the seeding round, which means if the scores are level, they would win. There's no draws in this. You either win or you lose. It's as simple as that. So it's obviously an advantage to have that priority, and usually the athlete who has not got the priority is a little bit more aggressive. If an athlete's losing, you'll see they're encouraged to be a bit more aggressive, aren't they? Usually the case, isn't it?
Yeah, and as you can see on the top part of your screen there, Tuma goes for the flesh. Sich engages perfectly with that cart and parry repost. You might see a bit of change in tempo with Tuma's fencing footwork as he tries to get past Sich.
Sepp levels the score meanwhile on Piste B, with that approaching the latter stages as well. What's going on here, Marion, with the two pistes to try to give you full access to everything here? Two pistes, and Sepp now moves into a 3-2 lead.
Now a 4-3 lead as well as a 6 seconds tick down, but it is Sich with the win of the first bout in this semi-final B.
So Sich defeats Tuma, and Floro, the highest ranked athlete from the seeding round, awaits him in the round of 16. It's 4-4 though in Kalachin versus Sepp.
Yeah, 8 seconds on the clock. This is going to be tight. Sepp needs to find a way through if he is to progress to the next round. Here we go then. Light footwork there from Sepp. I feel he's going to go for the defense now. Kalachin tries to go for the touch, but it is Sepp. Counter parry and wins the bout at 2 seconds to go.
Goes the distance, that one. Sepp now sets up a really intriguing battle against Shaban. We've seen athletes going the distance here, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, it was Zilikins today who started from the table of 32 and made it all the way to the final and won the direct elimination. And we also had Paula Valencia of Guatemala yesterday as well, which essentially booked her a ticket to the finals tomorrow. So up on piece A, it is Hugo Fleureau up against Daniel Sich. 50 seconds on the clock. The distance is closing up a bit. It might get a bit cagey there for Fleureau. Sich is the one with the higher reach, and he does it. See that red light? It is 1-0 with Fleureau getting the priority, of course, if the scores are level. Sich engaging, disengaging beautifully there from Fleureau. Goes for the flesh, but indeed is met with a counter repost.
So Fleureau in a little bit of trouble here. Sepp versus Shaban is another intriguing battle. Two great battles on the piste here, and Shaban, Sepp one apiece. Fleureau has work to do. 3-0 down. A shock on the cards potentially here, Marion.
Yeah, I mean, the lowest he can get if he's eliminated from this round, Fleureau, is 9th place. But let's focus, because it's all still to play for. 3-0 down is Fleureau, and Sich makes that 4. Fleureau's in trouble.
I mean, Fleureau was sat just to the left of us here in the commentary box and looked very relaxed, I have to say. Maybe too relaxed, I don't know. But it's not worked out for him so far. He's 4-0 down and 5-0. Sich has absolutely demolished that round. So commiserations to Fleureau. Still in a very good position. He's in 9th place. It's just about getting top 9. That seeding score will carry him through to the final. So he carries that seeding through to the final if he's to get there. There's lessons to be learned. Meanwhile, Sepp versus Shaban is locked at 2 apiece. Shaban with the priority. But Sepp, of course, being such a good fencer, he's causing problems for Shaban. 3-2 that score now. And it's down to Shaban to try to react. Shaban's obstacle has got a lot better as well this year. I think Shaban could be a real force this season as he looks to pick up a first medal since, well, last medal for him was, I think, 2023, I want to say.
I think he got one in the year in 2024, I think it was one of the
Beginning
World
of
Cups.
this, yes, one of the World
Yep.
Cups. Yes, he did pick up a medal. I think it was a bronze in Budapest.
Budapest,
He
yeah.
had a tricky year though, didn't he?
Yeah,
In 2024. We actually followed him for a season documentary, which is available on YouTube if you do want to watch it. Just check the UIPM socials. Meanwhile, we'll go back to the action. No, Sepp has won the tie, 5-2. So Sepp is, well, both of our athletes from the round of 32 have progressed through to the round of quarterfinals. So
they might even meet each other at the end, but let's see how it goes.
long way off though. Elashkar versus Berazavic on Piste A. Piste B yet to get underway. Interesting start to both these battles.
Yeah, both with French grips. Ashkar steps in looking for that attack. Berazavic is very ready for that, goes down low, ducks, and gets the point against Ashkar. Ashkar has to rethink his tactics here.
So, Piste B getting underway. Piste A, just Berazavic establishing the initial lead. Again, the priority rule.
Yeah, Ashkar goes for the flash and gets it, levels the score at 2-2. But remember, that priority is with Berazavic. 35 seconds on the clock. Ashkar needs every point he can get. Laser run is not going to be easy in this semi-final beat, let me tell you that right now. So Berazavic, again, with a similar style. Ashkar trying to go for that direct attack, but Berazavic, again, with that French grip, just manages to get that point from afar. This is dangerous, dangerous territory for Mohamed Al-Ashkar. 3-2 with Berazavic. As we look further down on Piste B, we have Tarkani 2-1. 1 point over Lou. Goes for the flash and gets the third one, but Mohamed Al-Ashkar levels things up again at 25 seconds on the clock. He needs 2 more points to win this bout.
This is what you want to see, is a high tempo battle with 20 seconds to go, being just a couple of points remaining. Berazavic now just 1 away from the win, and Elashkar is in a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, 3-2 on Piste B between Lowe and Karakiani.
Yeah, he has to find, I think he might want to take the blade. Going into this one, he goes for the flesh, and it's another tie at 4-4. This is going to go down to the wire.
And also worth remembering, if it goes 5-all, we continue, don't we? It's first to 5, but you have to win clear. So if there's a double touch, it's not over. 14 seconds left on the clock, and there is a double touch. So there's no score added, basically, at this point, is there? Meanwhile,
yeah, Tarkani moves over, and we'll face Sepp in the quarterfinals. Here we go then. Piste A is where all eyes are at now. Ashkar has to find some way through and get the point against Berazavic, and he does it. A flex forward, disengages at the last moment. It is 5-4. Mohamed Al-Ashkar moves over to the quarterfinals.
oh my goodness me, that is a masterclass of fencing from Mohamed Al-Ashkar, using the crowd to his advantage as well. A roar of delight from the local crowd, the Egyptians here watching and cheering on their man. Al-Ashkar defeating Berazavic, and will be up against Sich in the next round.
So on Piste B, we have Lei of Germany, Lukasz of the Czech Republic. Not much has gone down yet. 46 seconds on the clock. Tinley is looking for that attack. Might want to go down low there, but Lukasz is very much ready. Steps back to the back of the piece there, goes for a lunge and no touch. 28 seconds on the clock with no points scored for either athlete. It is still 0-0. If time ticks down, it goes to Lukasz. He ducks down and gets the point anyways.
I mean, what intrigues me about these different bouts is how some of them are just all action. You get multiple points. Other ones are just cagey, very little action. The clock ticks down.
Yes, it is Timley against Lukasz, and Lukasz picks up another point. This is looking good for him so far. He does have the priority as well. So Tim Lay has to put up 3 points on the scoreboard, and it's going to be tough for him, but he does put one up there. 7 seconds to go. This isn't impossible. 2-1 on piece B there. Here we go. Tim Lay is going for the attack now. It's going to be down to the wire. Lucas goes for a counter parry, but it is Lay with the win. It is 2-2 with 2 seconds on the clock. Lay needs 1 more point without answer. He's running for it, and it is Lay doing the impossible. It's 3-2 now with 0.1 on the clock. You have to feel for Lucas at this point. It's going to be tough to come back from, and it is Lay from Germany who moves over to the quarters.
2 very, very tight battles going on here, and Lay with a very good win there. He will beat the winner of Hassan versus Tokachayev. Roshat looking to get the job done here against Chen, and does. Roshat becomes the second French athlete in this semi-final to progress through to, sorry, the first French athlete, because of course Flora defeated by Sitch.
Here we go then. Final 2 matches. We have Dog versus Nastrasau and Hassan versus Tokachev.
So, Hassan has made the jump from senior to junior pretty well, junior to senior pretty well.
Yeah, he's quick on obstacle, and yeah, that does help evening things out between
Dog versus Nestorau. Dog looking to get a good season under his belts. He's won multiple World Cup medals, and on his day is one of the best athletes in the world. Again, as is the case with a lot of these senior athletes, keen to see how he gets on this season in obstacle, because they have all made strides forward. There's all been lots of work going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that was a clean parry, then counter parry repost by Hassan there. It's 2-0 at 35 seconds on the clock. This is looking good for him so far. He retreats to the back of the piece. It is scrappy and no touch. He's in a good position to move forward into the quarters now with the priority as well, but Tokachev with that defense, good timing from him. Hassan was maybe a bit too early on the attack there.
So, cagey bout on piece day. As Dog looks to get his first point on the board. Hassan doing well, managing the priority. Took his time well there and gets the touch. It was quite an aggressive touch, but it's on the board.
It was a pass for that flesh, but then managed to put it in there. It is 3-1 for the Egyptian. It's a double touch. It is 4-2. It is going to be tough for Tokachev to come back from that. Hassan is looking good to move forward to the quarters now. He's waiting for him to make his attack and his counter parries, and it's no touch. This is scrappy at 8 seconds now. Hassan 2 points over Tokachev. 8 seconds on the clock. He just needs to maintain his position now. Goes for the touch. It's another double touch. And he wins the bout. Points to the crowd. And Hassan moves over to the quarters.
Egyptians going well here. It's now 3 Egyptians in the quarterfinals. Hassan joins El Ashkar and Shaban. It's looking very likely we'll see an Egyptian in the semi-finals at least, which is good for the local crowd. Sep, of course, defeating Shaban. So we've got 2 Egyptians in the quarterfinals. And actually both of them part of this new generation of young Egyptians that are really stealing the show. This is what amazed me about the Egyptian team. Plethora of talent right from senior to junior. Just when you think Egyptian domination in the men's side of this sport, is possibly releasing its grip. The next batch of athletes come through.
Yeah, I mean, they're never ending and they're coming your way always. So Egyptians are constantly producing.
We've also got the likes of Farida Khalil on the
She's not even here yet.
Not even here yet, but I mean, she dominated the sport last year. Absolutely dominated, didn't she? So let's have a look then. This is the conclusion of the round of 16 round. Sich and Alashkar will play at the top of that bout. Roshat and Dog, Hassan and Lay, and Turkani and Sepp.
So the lowest you can rank from these athletes who are competing in the table of 8 is 8th place. So still within good point range here as Al-Ashkar and Sich take to the piste on piste A. It's 47 seconds on the clock now. No points scored from either athlete. Mohamed Al-Ashkar, footwork looking good now. He's trying to engage with this game again, and it's Sich. Sich has a way of finding a route or path past those French grips. He's doing well for himself here. It's 1-0 for Sich so far. Mohamed Al-Ashkar tries to take that fence down low. Sich doesn't buy into it though. Al-Ashkar again trying to get that point from afar. Sich defending his blade wonderfully. 20 seconds on the clock now. Al-Ashkar goes for the flesh. It is no touch. Pass on that touch then from Al-Ashkar. Opening up the distance again. And Sich is going to play on the defense because it's working out for him so far. Al-Ashkar needs to find a way through, and he does engage and disengage on the 6th. Amazing, amazing work done by Al-Ashkar. Of course, has priority as well with that star next to his name.
Tarkani is absolutely dominating here. Sepp's been caught out. And it's kind of really no way back now. There we go, 5-0 the score. Alashkar versus Sich. So Sepp, I mean, listen, Sepp's made his way from the round of 32. Is a very good laser one athlete. I think we'll probably see Sepp in the final now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, he's now going to be ranked in 8th place after the fencing, which is still a good position to be in. You're in the top 9. Of course, we have 2 more disciplines to go before we head on over to the laser run. Mohamed Al-Ashkar is one of those athletes that maybe struggles a bit more in the laser run.
Has he been working on his running though?
Definitely, I think he's improved a lot. Nevertheless, I do think he needs every point he can get on this piste. So it's 3-2 now, 3 seconds on the clock. It's gonna be tough for Al-Ashkar to get by, and Sich, I think,
basically Al-Ashkar needs to build
the
biggest lead he possibly can, right? Because it has come unstuck with him in the past, notably Budapest last year when he had a decent lead going into his finals, was caught by the rest. I mean, I know he's been working hard and he's running and he's a great athlete, so anyway, defeated by Sich, so Sich has done the unthinkable, really, and progressed right through from the round of 32 to the semi-finals, where he will meet the winner of Rochat versus Dog. Lay versus Hassan, locked on. No points scored thus far.
Hassan again with that pass there. Lay scoring a point on the board. It's pretty frustrated with that.
Intriguing tie, this one. It could swing either way, depending on who gets next touch. Is vital, isn't it? If it's Hassan, then the pressure then switches to Lay. If it's Lay that gets next touch, then
yeah, so Lay goes back to the back of the piece, and Hassan goes for the flesh. It works out for him this time. It is a tie. 9 seconds on the clock.
I think that's what we wanted, wasn't it, as well? From a neutral perspective, you want to see these battles going down to the wire. That's the fun of this format of fencing. Dog versus Rochat on piste A. 5 seconds to go. And Leg gets the touch.
Yeah.
Yes, 2-1.
It was a foot touch. Perfect tempo from Lei. He's gonna have to run, and it is, I think it was a double touch, if I'm not mistaken.
Rochat and Dog locked in a battle there on piece day. And it was a double touch, 3-2. Aggressive there from Hassani, had to be, but it is left, much to the silence of this crowd. That progresses through to the semi-final, where he's going to play against Tarkiani.
Fantastic effort from Hassan, though, who's managed to get himself into the top
So
9.
just one bout of the quarterfinals remains, and then we're going to reduce ourselves to one piece. All action will focus on one piece. Rochat versus Dog. 2-1 to Rochat in a double touch. So 10 seconds to go. And there we go. All the action now focused on piece A.
Here we go then. The final quarter-final match. Dog retreats to the back of the piece. Now Rochat finding a way through, and he does. Look at that. Takes off his mask, points to the crowd. He knows it was a good touch. With 0.5 on the scoreboard, it is Rochat's match.
Dog can't really do anything about that. Rochat will just take a big leap backwards. There we go. Easy. So Rochat is through to the semi-final against Sitch.
That was a last-minute touch there. It's kind of scrappy. Dog did take the parry, but unfortunately for him, the point was already in the target. So Rochat versus Sitch, Lei versus Tarkani in the semis now. As you can see, the highlighted athletes are the athletes that moved forward and are now competing in the top 4. Sitch, by the way, starting out in the table of 32, was 16th at the seeding round yesterday.
Very
so moved
cool.
up quite nicely.
Very cool shot that of the 2 different coloured FA fence blades. Rochat's going well here.
Yeah, very focused.
5th highest ranked fencer from the seeding round. It's all seeding rounds kind of old news now, isn't it? Other than the priority rule, of course, but by this point, Sitch, would you say has exceeded expectations?
I think we've seen athletes make their way through the entire field and up to the top, so I'm not surprised. But
now,
yeah, I think maybe they had a bad day yesterday.
But this is reminiscent of fencing bonus round, when you see momentum carry from bout to bout. You kind of get that place on the fencing piece, and you don't want to give it up. Sitch versus Rochat now. The momentum with, I would say, arguably Sitch, although Rochat has been looking equally as good in this direct elimination battle.
Yeah, Rochat opening up the distance quite nicely. Sitch loves that close distance, is able to get that touch from afar. It is a counter parry from both athletes, and no touch. 30 seconds left. This is going to be tight. This is the first of 2 matches we have in the semi-final.
Big step towards victory that though from Rochat with the priority rule. That is effectively a 2-0 lead. Sitch needs 2 without reply in order to progress.
Beautiful timing from Rochat with that flesh. Sitch tries to engage and get that blade, wasn't able to at the last moment. Perfect timing from Rochat.
2-0 the score. And with 13 seconds to go, Rochat is flying now. I would say has half an arm in the final.
Yeah, he looks unbeatable from this position. 13 seconds to go. Sitch has to perform a miracle here. He's pushing him to the back of the piece. He's losing time.
And it's 4-0.
Yeah.
It's as good as done now, and you would think, well, Sitch is probably just going to celebrate what's been a remarkable achievement to go from the round of 32 right through to the semi-finals. Final few seconds here. And I say a remarkable achievement. It's only one bout more than anybody else, but it feels that much more remarkable because it's a sort of rags to riches story, isn't it? Where
yeah, but it's not just one bout with one touch, it's 5 whole touches, so he had to actually prove himself. It wasn't.
Well, he's had
like
5 more bouts than everyone else, at least, and more, because it wasn't a 5-0. So yeah, I get your point. It's a lot more, but
like, it didn't happen by chance.
no.
So our second semi-final, taking to the piece now, is Lei of Germany and Tarkani.
So Lei versus Tarkani is underway. Tarkani beating teammate Sepp in the previous round. Lei was 11th overall in the seeding round. I mean, it's a whole new day of fencing, isn't it? And this is one thing I will say I've noticed about the athletes is day-to-day the fencing can vary greatly, can't it? Why is that?
Yesterday rather than today?
Yeah, like why from day to day can they fence so differently? Like someone
First of all, strategy. Strategy is different with the 5 touches. There's the element of chance with the 1 touch. Also, it's a completely different day, which the athletes could have been recovering. They could have worked on, you know, just mentally how to be in a match. So I just think every day comes with its own conditions. And yeah, if they're able to do well today, then good for them. It is 2-0, by the way, for Lei. He is currently dominating.
Anybody holding back in the seeding round, do you think?
I doubt
Conserving
it.
a bit of energy?
I doubt it. I don't think you can really conserve energy in fencing. Even if you're losing, you're still moving, you're still working with the blade. It's not that cut and dry.
Saving energy, perhaps? Physical energy and mental energy are 2 big parts of pentathlon. Final few seconds to go. We'll come back to the conversation in a moment's time. And Lei now has taken full control of this bout. And bar something special. Now that's it. 1 point remaining for Lei. 3 seconds to go. Tarkani would need 3 points in this last 3 seconds.
He's succumbed
it's
to
just
the
not
loss,
possible. I think he's succumbed, isn't he? There we go. The clock ticks down to 0. There we go. Nothing he can do. So Lei versus Rochat, not who we would have necessarily predicted for the final.
I think that gives a bit of hope for the athletes who haven't fenced well the day before, or, you know, just every day comes with its own conditions and its own challenges, and things can switch up pretty fast in this game. Here we go now, the finals. It is Rochat versus Lei. The winner of this bout gets 250 points. The minimum you can get is 244 points. So both athletes with big points up on the board already.
So here we go. It all comes down to this, the direct elimination final.
We are 1 minute away to decide who's the winner of the Princeton direct elimination.
45 seconds to go, very little action so far. Just testing the water, both of them trying to get their athlete to commit. And we'll see who makes the first move. Will it be Rochat? Will it be Lei? Priority is with Rochat, who can push on his opponent a little bit and take a step back. Is Lei trying to lure his opponent into a trap here? I think he is, because that is what's happened. He's waited for his opponent to step back and attacked. Double touch though, 1-1. Doesn't help Lei.
Yeah, Rochat relying on his front leg here, putting his weight into it now and just trying to find a way past Lei in stopping him in his attack and challenging that timing of Lei. It is 7 seconds on the clock. It's 1-1. If the clock ticks down, it's going to be Rochat. Lei needs to make a move now, and Rochat goes for the flush, but Lei was ready for that. It is 2-1. That was so risky from Rochat.
Drama right at the last second. It was risky by Rochat, and it hasn't paid off. He needs to do something now with a 1 A few seconds to go. Did he get the touch? No, he didn't. Le defends well. That was close. Fair play to Rochat. Nearly got the foot touch. But it is indeed Le who has won the fencing direct elimination. That must be a good feeling as well, by the way, to beat everyone, to take that 250 points forward.
Yeah, you have to work for it, and
But you
these
know,
are
he
some big points.
allows himself a moment of celebration, and then off he goes, because
And back at it.
got to get ready for a completely different style of competing.
Yeah.
The obstacle, it's a painful one obstacle, isn't it? It's like the most pressure you can put on your body in this sport. Let's just take a quick look at the overall table of results. There you can see Lair beating Tagiani, Hassan and Lukesh in his road to victory. And that's the standings. You can see Lair climbing 10 places from his seeding round. Sitch as well having a very good run of things. What about the people to have fallen though? We'll have a look in a moment's time, because we lost Florol early on, who's down in 9th place, 218 points, sacrificing a potential 32 points. He's got work to do now, hasn't he? Sepp has moved up, could be dangerous from 8th place. Shaban could be quite a tricky athlete later on in the competition as well. We'll see how he gets on the obstacle, which is of course coming up next. That concludes fencing direct elimination. Up next is the obstacle. So we move the competition on quickly. The fencing direct elimination concluded. It's now time to turn our attention to the obstacle. And it is consisting of 8 different obstacles. Steps lead straight into the big wheel, and fairly easy start before things get difficult quickly. Tilting ladders, where there's time that will be made up. The likes of El Ashkar will be very quick through there, you'd imagine. Over, under and through. Then there is the flying hoops into the giant steps before arguably the most difficult part of the course, the swinging globes. And then after the swinging globes, it is the finish wall. Quickest times will be just over 20 seconds, you'd imagine. El Ashkar's got about 21 in the
I think so, yeah. We had Mustafa Abu Amir score at 21 in the first semi-final of the day. So I'm intrigued to see what Al Ashkar has in store for us. So that is the course live right in front of you, and we'll have a POV of one of the athletes actually doing the course, and it really shows you how much strength and sheer grip strength they have to go through to get past this course. Big wheel into the tilting ladders. It is very upper body heavy, this course. Over, under, and through. Into the flying hoops. We'll see some different technique with the men today as opposed to the women yesterday. They kind of skip out the first hoop, some of them, into the giant steps, and up go the athletes to the globes. Grip strength, upper body strength, and the final push towards the wall and hit the buzzer. This is the course the athletes will be going through today, and this is the start list up on your screen. We have 9 heats of the semi-final B, and those are the athletes in the first 3 heats. These are the chasing pack. They're trying to make it into the top 9, where they'll be qualified for the finals tomorrow.
So 2 athletes per heat. First bout about to get underway. Karachin and Tuma will make their way onto the course. Tuma could be quick here, by the way. PB of sub 25. Average age of pentathlon now feels around the 25-year mark, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's on the higher end as well.
Yeah, probably. So Tuma on the inside of the course, Karachin on the outside. Good start by Karachin, by the way, as we move on to the over-under through section of the course. And now to the flying hoops, which you literally fly through. And Karachin going well here, by the way. Tuma into the giant steps, now into the globes. Looks like could make up a bit of time here, but no, Karachin is going well. Slower than Tuma than we expected. Good start this from Karachin. Up the finish wall, hits a buzzer 25 seconds. Not bad at all. Slow from Tuma. I was expecting a little bit faster from him then.
Yeah, but still very solid times, though. It's under that 30-second mark. We have a reminder that the fastest time of the day is 21.39 by Mustafa Abu Amir in semi-final A, so that is the time to beat. Love seeing the camaraderie between the 2 athletes going up against each other in each heat.
Yeah.
Kind of cheer them.
Well, you're kind of like pulling each other along, aren't you? It's part of the intimacy of it all.
Thank you, Umar.
No, it's not.
So into the tilting ladders. This is very, very quick from Dokuchev. Heading into the flying hoops now. Doesn't skip over the first one, but this is still good pace. Into the giant steps. So globes now. This requires sheer grip strength and skips over a few ones. Up the wall he goes. It's going to be sub 27 as it is. 27.68. Masters out on that buzzer at 32. That's going to drop him down the standings for sure.
Heat 2 of 9. Quickest time so far has been Karachin. 2 athletes from China in the next bout, Lu Shuai and Chen Bailang. I like the pace of obstacle as well. Just
quick to the point.
Heat after heat after heat. Yeah. It's relentless. It's good. It's a good addition to the sport. The speed is fun to watch. So Chen in A, Lu in B. Oh, it's great pace through the tilting ladders from both athletes.
Synchronized into the flying hoops.
They go. Oh, and there's a mistake there. So Lu moves into the lead, into the globes, and Chen just overdoing it a little bit, perhaps into the hoops slipping off. So Lu, final finish wall, buzzer in sight. There we go. It's around a 28.7. Good recovery, that has to be said, from Chen, who's lost about 7 seconds, which does equate to around 20 to 25 points. So costly mistake. It's like a refusal in the riding almost, isn't it? If you've got a refusal in the riding, it costs you about 25 points, something like that. The 10 points, then the 15 seconds. It might add.
Time lost. Yeah. Oof, you can see the slip up on the flying hoop there. Oof.
Frustrating one. Berezavic and Lukesh next. Here we go then. Lukesh on the inside, Berezavic.
Yeah, he's quick on the tilting ladders, over, under, through for both athletes into the flying hoops. He's going to skip over.
Fast from Lukesh, who is going very quickly here. This could be the fast time of the day. Into the globe, but loses the pace there, doesn't he? Just going slowly and carefully. That's decent though. Carries that pace right through the end of the globes, runs out of energy towards the end, and they both hit the buzzers at around the same time. Both with a 3.63 and a 3.64. Kozavik in the end winning the bout. Now, an interesting tie up next, Shaban and Floro. Floro was frustrated after the fencing because on paper has the slower time on the obstacle. Shaban went sub 25. I'm really interested to see how Shaban is going to get on here, because Shaban was relatively slow on obstacles last year. Much, much faster this year. He's clearly worked hard. Floro versus Shaban. Here we go. Big wheel into tilting. Oh no, Shaban's missed the first ladder, and that could be costly for his competition. Floro now takes the lead. We'll see how Shaban recovers from that. Has lost momentum. Good pace through the flying hoops there for Floro, who lands it. It's not really the fastest time of the day, but it's certainly not bad. Into the globes. And Shaban's made up quite a bit of time. Important that he recovered. Floro, finish wall, buzzer inside, and just about gets there. Oh, Shaban's going to be frustrated by that. Just didn't click into place for that first tilting ladder. I'm sure we'll see a replay. Shaban drops down to 6th place. Just got to get the job done now. Got to get into that top 9. Shooting was slightly just. Oh,
yeah, sometimes the brain doesn't work in synchrony with the body and the muscles, and sometimes that happens. You just can't control it. But it's a good recovery from him. 32 after redoing the obstacle.
Listen, you win some, you lose some, and as long as he gets into the final from his point of view. Here we go. Alashkar, middle ladder, second ladder, through, over, under, and through. Alashkar carrying his pace into the hoops. Skips the first hoop, right through the second hoop. Giant steps into the globes. The pace is so fast. Sub 20 seconds, heading towards the finish wall. Quickest time of the day, I think it was sub 20. Oh, just over 20.15, Mohamed Alashkar.
That is the quickest time of the day.
I mean, it's a world record. 20.15 if you look bottom right-hand corner. Sepp with a 30.20. Alashkar, lightning fast. I think that's a world record. Well, we've been waiting for Alashkar, who, I mean, it's so fast. That technique through the flying hoops is masterful. He's strong, isn't he? And tall. He's got the perfect.
He's agile.
Build.
Yeah, I think he's.
Hassan's quick as well, by the way. Similar technique through the tilting ladders. Carries a pace into the over/under through. Hoops up next. Great pace through the hoops. Giant steps, globes to finish this off. Loses a little bit of time in the hoops, in the globes, up the finish wall, and it's another very quick time. This time at 22.4, very good. Dog not far behind, a 27, that's decent from Dog, by the way, as well.
That is really, really good.
Do you know what we're seeing now? We're seeing the more senior athletes just getting quicker and quicker. But at the same time, the younger athletes are getting better at the other disciplines, so it's just like a perfect boiling point of drama.
Yeah. Look at that technique, though.
So good. Brilliant stuff. We've seen a couple of really good runs, and this leads us into our penultimate bout, Sic and Tarkani. Tarkani from Hungary has a PB of 25.
So Sic versus Tarkani. Not directly though, but they will be facing the clock. Here we go. Big wheel into the tilting ladders. It's not going to be the quickest time of the day, but it is a good pace. Over, under, and through for both athletes into the flying hoops. Now the upper body aches as they try to propel themselves forward. It is giant steps and into the globes, testing their grip strength. It's not the fastest time by any means, but it is a good time. These athletes need to maintain their position up the wall. They go 28 seconds. That is going to be sub 31 seconds from Sich.
It's good enough, isn't it? Alashkar still in the lead by 3 points over Hassan. Darghani drops into 3rd place, seeing where Shaban is. I think he's down to 13th. It's still okay. It's still a chance for him to progress, and it's all about getting inside that top 9 today. Nothing else matters. It's just stage by stage. Get through qualifications, get through semi-finals, then attack the final. The final, you can't afford mistakes. If you make a mistake in the final, medal's gone. Here we go. Roshat versus Leh, final battle. Roshat with good pace through those ladders. Mistake from Leh, that could be costly. Roshat continues through the hoops well. Giant steps into the globes, skips the first 2 globes. Great pace. Oh, the mistake's there. And just like that, mistakes can happen. Roshat just has to reset. Leh's come back well and hits the buzzer 32 seconds. Roshat's mistake cost him a good 8 or 9 seconds at least. And let's see how that leaves us standing. It drops Roshat down to 7th place. And I'm curious as to how far Shaban is off the pace. 11 seconds. Shaban, not the fastest swimmer in the world, around the middle of the pack, I think.
I think with 100 meters it changes.
That's the thing.
It changes.
Yeah. We don't know anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think being an endurance athlete has a major advantage in the fact that we did have the 200 meters, but now it's 100 meters. So most of the athletes can sprint, I can say. So it kind of levels the playing field. But at the same time, points are so much more precious in swimming now.
They really are. They really are. Those 5 points that you get given for every second you make up in swimming is truly remarkable. We're going to have a interview with an athlete during the transition, but firstly let's just take a look at the standings. And Alashkar leads after that impressive obstacle display. Hassan in 2nd place, Leh in 3rd, Darghani in 4th, Dog 5th, Sich in 6th place. Let's see how things are looking around the magic number 9. Sepp in 9th place, a point ahead of Berezavic. A little bit of a gap now emerging between Floro and Lou, but Floro will look to bounce back after being the highest seeded athlete going out in the first bout he undertook. What about those athletes a little bit further down? And there you can see Shaban, Tuma, Nesterau, Kalachin, Tokoshayev, and Chen down in 18th place. We're going to start building up to the swimming. We're going to have an interview with an Olympic athlete in a short while's time. We will leave you with the montage of the obstacle. So welcome back, everybody. We say goodbye to obstacle. We start our build-up now to the next discipline, the swimming, which has changed a little bit this year. We'll go through how it has changed in a couple of moments' time. But ultimately, the headline is this. It has reduced from 200 meters to 100 meters. Each second you lose is 5 points. But equally, if you've got your positive hat on, each second you gain is 5 points gained. And it is an interesting challenge. We're going to hear from Sofia Hernandez, Olympic athlete, in a few moments' time. But before we do that, I think we have an interview with another one of our athletes to get through. There is the pool. The athletes are making their way slowly towards the swimming arena. And let's hear from one of our athletes now.
Yeah, after fencing and obstacle, you know a little bit how the competition is going. Like if you can play on the podium, play at the back, you know a little bit what you can do, because we just finished two technical sports. So now it's more that physical swimming. You don't have to focus a lot. You just have to push. Now we change with the swimming. It's not 200 meters, it's 100 meters. We change the format, not the discipline, but it's a little bit different. It's more lactic, it's more quicker, so we give more intensity. And I think it's good. It's good because it's more dynamic. The points are more difficult. It's 5 points for 1 second, so you can't manage. You have to give your best, and I think it is good. We will see during all the year what really can happen with this discipline, but I think it will be good.
So hearing the thoughts there of Hugo Fleureau, who was top of the seeding round but went out first on the fencing direct elimination. Let's hear the thoughts now of Guatemalan athlete Sofia Hernandez. Now, Sofia, we first heard you as a commentator back in Keshkomet in 2018. Since then, you've won relay medals. You've qualified during the Pan American Games and become an Olympian in Paris.
Yeah.
Firstly, congratulations on all your success in the sport.
Thank you so much. It's good to be back.
You're back now competing with the sport having changed this year. This is obviously your first event, as it is for all the athletes actually, with these new changes. How have you found things? You obviously qualified this year, this event, but didn't make it through to the semi-finals. But talk to us about how it was for you so far.
Yeah, it's been good. It's definitely a new sport, and you have to train different. It's new sensations and new experience, but it's good for me. I have to focus now on the obstacles because it's something that we have to learn from zero. But I think you can tell by the athletes competing in the semifinals that a lot of them have improved so much, and it's so exciting to see it. Like, you actually have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think there is like something more, even more watchable about this sport now.
Yeah.
As an athlete, it's brutal though, isn't it? Like, you cannot relax for 1 second.
Yeah.
As soon as you take your eye off the ball, like in swimming, if you relax 1 second, it's 5 points gone. In the laser run, if you have one bad shoot, you can lose.
It's gone.
It's gone. I mean, how is that to compete in?
Well, it's a challenge, but I think that's the beauty of sport, that it's always evolving and you need to like adapt and learn how to compete in a different environment. And that's like, it's good about the swimming, the changes, because now it counts more, every second counts more, so it's like more balanced, I think, where the obstacles count a lot, so you have to be good. And if you're learning them, it's hard to be good very fast.
You need to be aiming for a time of around 30 seconds.
Yeah.
In the women's, and like even faster for the men's, right?
Yes.
For qualifications at this event, in the women's qualifications, we lost 3 Olympians. We lost Laura Heredia.
Yeah.
We lost your mate Rebecca Langer.
Yeah.
We lost yourself. I mean, there's more.
Yeah.
This is the thing that amazes me about pentathlon. It's not just hard to win medals. It's not just hard to qualify for a final. It's hard to even get to semi-final now, isn't it? Because there's only 12 spots per qualification group in order to get through. It's tough. Finish 13th. Your competition's done.
Yeah, it's tough, and like you said, if you make one mistake, like for example, Laura, she made one mistake in the ladders, and then that cost her competition, because she runs amazing. She's a really good runner and shooter, but now everything counts so much that you have to like be really focused and try to be on a good average and everything, I think.
Lots to think about.
Yeah.
How has life changed for you now that you are an Olympian? A lot of attention on you from the media, especially at home in Guatemala,
Yeah.
heading into Paris. Obviously, I know you don't mind speaking about this. You had the injury in Paris. You've spoken
Yeah.
about this before, which was frustrating for you, but still you are an Olympian. No one can ever take that away from you. How has life been since then?
Yeah, good. It's difficult to like leave the Paris experience behind because now the sport changed so much. So it's basically a new sport. So it's difficult to go into training back and try to learn everything from zero, this obstacle, and then suddenly you are like, you don't know what you're doing. You have to start learning everything again. But it's like I said, it's fun. It's what it is, and now we have to either learn it and make it, or say maybe this is not for me.
Pentathlon got a lot harder in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's more physical. I think you have to be stronger physically.
Obviously, it was each discipline was a separate thing, like before the Paris Olympic routine. So after Tokyo, obviously things changed. Then after Paris, things have changed again. As an athlete, it's harder. As a spectator, when you watch, like if you're at home and you're not competing at an event and you're watching from home, are you enjoying like seeing how the coverage has developed and how quick the sport has become, and how in 90 minutes it's like just so fast, so quick, kind of like a football match, isn't it, in many ways?
Yes, like I enjoy it. It's fun to watch. Obviously, like I miss the riding. I cannot say no, I miss it, but the obstacles are really fun to watch. And now, for example, what we just saw, the athletes like jump into the third glove or to the second like hoop. It's fun, it's exciting, and I think for everyone, even if you don't really follow the sport, you're watching just one competition, you enjoy it. It's easier.
How are your hands, by the way? How are your hands? Like,
Good.
coping
Not
with
so bad.
some blisters?
Yeah.
It's inevitable, right?
Yeah, but it's okay. We're used to it. We're athletes.
What's the hardest part of your body? Shoulders,
I
arms,
think my shoulders. My shoulders, yeah. Because I was not used to this, like everything like from the upper body. I think you need a lot of strength, like I said before. But if you put the work, if you train hard, then you'll get there. Maybe it will take a little bit longer, but it's okay.
Rest of the season, you're going to compete, hopefully in Bulgaria, maybe Hungary, TBC.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just finally, because we're going to get Mariam back in, because we're going to start coverage of the swimming. The 100 meters of the swimming. Like, you're a good swimmer. Is this advantageous to someone such as yourself who's a quick swimmer, or?
It's different. It's fun. It's a different strategy. It's different training. You have to prepare differently. But I guess ultimately you have to go out there and you don't think so much about it. You just go hard and try to get the best time you can.
Well, listen, it's been great catching up with you.
Thank you.
I know you're going to be here for the next few days, so we're going to see you around. Maybe we'll get you back on the comfort box as well. Go enjoy Cairo. Relax a little bit. You train so hard. You deserve a little bit of time.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sofia Hernandez giving us her thoughts of how the sport has progressed, her journey in the sport, which has been one that's been great to watch. Sofia Hernandez, a legend of the sport, an Olympian, and continues to grow as an athlete, as all these athletes are having to do. We welcome back Mariam Amur, who has been surrounded by this sport since you were single digits in age. Am I right in saying?
Single digits in age, yeah.
Under
That's
the
a
age of
good
10.
way to put it, yeah.
You were, I think, one of the, we talk about the exciting young Egyptian generations. You were one of the exciting Egyptians to watch.
At one point.
You competed in Youth Olympic Games, so a former Olympian yourself.
I did compete at the Youth Olympic Games, but in fencing. I did qualify for both, but we had Salam Abdul Maqsood, who qualified for modern pentathlon as well. So she did that one, and she did incredible. She got gold. But yeah, it's I mean, it's bittersweet watching and commentating over pentathlon, but at the same time, I am very close to the sport that I love and the family that I've, compiled from the sport. So
everybody loves you in this sport as well. It's like so fun watching you just walking around and everyone just is chatting to you, asking you how life is. You are part of the. You're like a founding member of the pentathlon family.
Wouldn't go that far.
You're like the mother of pentathlon.
I mean,
to me, you're like the little sister of pentathlon, but to everyone else, they're like, Auntie Mariam.
Yeah, pentathlon. I think once you're part of it, you're in it for good, and yeah, you're part of that family forever.
And a very talented athlete you are, I think. Had the winds of fate blown differently, we would be talking about you as an Olympic gold medalist. It could have happened, but listen,
in another life.
You're a trained doctor now as well. You're saving lives, and you're giving the world a lot in that sense. So we
Thank you
appreciate
so
you,
much,
Marianne. And
James.
hey, you are commentating as well, by the way. It's great to have you back in the commentary box. What a pleasure this is. Right, swimming heat 1. We're taking a little bit of a trip down memory lane in the transition, but now it's all about the present and this competition. The men's semi-final B is heating up. Who are we keeping our eyes on in this heat, you think, Mariam, Shaban?
I mean, all their seat times are pretty close together. I'd say Shaban has really worked on his 100 meters as well. Yeah, I mean, that fall in the Olympics, I think he has what it takes to come back stronger, and he has a point to prove.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Shaban. He had that issue with the horse, and in the end finished in 18th place in the final. But here he is flying in the pool, and it's key to remember that he is only 26 years of age, which is
Very
the
young.
sweet spot as an athlete, isn't it? I think that's where you kind of want to be peaking.
That's
around
where
that
you're
age.
peaking, yeah.
So Shaban, 26 years of age, and looking good in this competition as he looks to try and make his way back. It's a good time this as well, I reckon, to be around, what, 53 mark, 54 perhaps? A little bit
Just
longer.
over, yeah, 56.
Bang on 56. So good time that from Shaban. That'll put him obviously in provisional first place. And we'll see how close he can get to that top 9. Needed a good swim there though, didn't he?
Yeah, decent time. Actually, more than decent. That's a really good time considering that Shaban has lost some points in the obstacles as well. Recovered well, but still losing out some points. So, yeah, the rest of the pack as well, doing well here in the swim, picking up some points. I think it's the athletes further up the order that I'm worried about in terms of Shaban's chances of heading into the final. Again, we get to see those, look at that angle there of the underwater camera. It's that push off that start block and using that underwater to your advantage and taking every bit of momentum you can off that push. Touches the wall at 56.01. Strong time for Mohamed Shaban. So that was heat number 1, 1 of 3 of the semi-final B. Here's the start list for heat 2. We have Rochat of France in lane number 1, Lukash in lane number 2, Sepp in lane number 3, Borozvic in lane number 4, Floro in 5, and Wu in 6. This is the mid-pack. 7th.
Yeah,
8th, 9th, 10th,
this
11th,
is where the peak of the battle for 9th really is, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the pack of athletes chasing down the top 9. It is still pretty close, this field, and never say never. There's a run. Can really put the pressure on, especially with that first shooting series. So here we go then, heat 2 on the blocks.
Yeah, there is some slightly nervous looking athletes there. Balas Shep just flexing on the edge of the pool, and in we go. A minute or so of swimming for heat number 2. Off they go, accelerating away to the wall. You can see Rochat, I think it is. It's difficult to make out sometimes the athletes individually. It is Rochat, isn't it?
I mean, they're all neck and neck at this point. They're going to turn at the 15-meter mark, and they're going to have to get a great bit of momentum off that push.
And Lukash, very, very close. Rochat now upping the pace. It was a good tumble turn. To power off the wall into the final 25 meters or so. How close to his PB spend of 53 meters can he get? Rochat, stroke by stroke, making his way now towards the wall. It's going to be around a time of 55, I think, isn't it? Just over 56. It's not as quick as it could have been, but it's still a good time. Rochat, Lukash, Sepp, within a few seconds of each other. Floro just ahead of Sepp, actually. We'll see how that affects the standings. We have 12 athletes who have completed their swimmings. You can see Sepp and Shaban, Lukash and Rochat are the top 4.
Yeah, Shaban moved up quite well after that swim. Obviously, we still have 6 athletes to go.
We have Mohamed Al-Ashkar, who is very quick in the pool as well in this heat. Mohamed Al-Ashkar, top of the pile, needs to build up that lead, although for semi-finals less important.
I think for him, he needs to push in the pool. He's not going to leave anything out. And yeah, he needs every bit of push forward and earlier handicap time to be able to qualify for the finals. Here we go then, Heat 3. Those are the 6 athletes swimming in Heat 3. Al-Ashkar in lane number 1, Hassan in lane 2, lane in 3, Tarkani in 4, Dog in 5, and Sich in 6.
Now let's welcome heat number 3, lane
So here we go, final swimming heats.
Egypt, Mohamed
Out comes Al-Ashkar, followed by Hassan, Leh, Tarkani, Dog, and Sich, your 6 athletes battling for a place in the final. But these are the lead pack, so these are the ones they're all chasing. You can imagine Al-Ashkar leads the pool with an extended lead at the top, but let's see what happens. 100 meters of swimming still to navigate their way past. There he is. Very tall, perfect figure for obstacle, isn't it? And for swimming, and for fencing.
He's a pretty good all-around athlete.
He is.
To think that Mohamed Al-Ashkar at one point was going to retire before the obstacles was introduced is crazy. I cannot believe.
Why was that? Struggle with the riding?
I think it was kind of a mix of everything, but yeah, the obstacle definitely gave him a huge advantage.
Re-energized him. Oh, here we go. We're back in the pool then for the final swimming heat. Al-Ashkar closest to your shot there, followed by his Egyptian teammate Hassan, Leh, Tarkani, Dog, and Sich, the other athletes in the pool as we approach the one and only turn of this race. Away we go. Good power off the wall there from Al-Ashkar. 30 seconds on the clock. How close to the 55-second mark can Al-Ashkar get? How much can he extend that lead? It's not the gallop style from Al-Ashkar, is it? It's more of a fluid motion with those strokes.
I think because his arms are very long, it kind of doesn't look like it is, but it is.
Yeah, okay. Big strides forward. And Al-Ashkar approaching the wall. This is a mighty fast time, 54.7 from Al-Ashkar. Hassan, I think, was close to second. Dog, Tarkani, Sich, and Leh losing a bit of time there. So Leh will drop down, and that helps the likes of Shaban, Seth, Lukash, Rojat. We'll know our top 9 in a moment's time. Here they go one by one. Dog drops below Roshat. Sich drops below Roshat. Shaban drops down to 9th place. And Shaban's in 10th place. But look at that, just a second. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Floro, Shaban, Sepp. I'd be worried if those guys were behind me.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that the laser run is going to be done in 30 minutes time. But it is going to be an exciting one.
Well, and also, like, people watching at home might be like, oh, they're talking about Shaban a lot. But the reason being, he has won so much.
He has. I mean, he's pretty accomplished in this sport, it has to be said.
Like, to think that he didn't win an Olympic medal is a surprise to me, because there was a point when he was the best athlete in the world. He won World Cup final, beating Zhou Sheng dramatically. Which year was that?
2023.
23. And that was a really, really exciting time for Shaban. I'd say arguably probably peaked a year too soon, didn't he? 2024 didn't go the way of Shaban. But
I think, again, it was a big mental game, Olympic year.
So we are not going to get the official scores up on the screen for you, but we can tell you unofficially: Al-Ashkar, Hassan, Roshat, Dog, Sich, Tarkani, Lukash, Leh, and Shep is your top 9. Shaban and Floro are within 5 seconds. Zavik is a second further back. We're building up to coverage of the laser run. Let's take a watch back of the swimming highlights, and then we'll continue with that build-up. We're also potentially going to hear from a very special guest. More to follow. Cairo coverage of the laser run to follow. Our final two disciplines, the combined disciplines. Swimming done and dusted. It's now all about getting inside that top 9 and cementing your place in Friday's final. The rules of the game have changed a little bit in that the athletes have to go straight to the shooting range to start things off. That adds quite a bit of pressure in that opening lap, and consequently athletes do lose a bit of time sometimes in that first shooting range. Some athletes of course benefit from it. It's all about how you handle that initial pressure in that warm-up.
I mean, I think this is shaping to the most exciting semi-final we've had so far. We have so many athletes around that 9th position within seconds from each other. So it's going to be interesting, that first shoot.
Hugo Fleureau has been an athlete we've heard a fair bit from this competition. He's involved in semi-final B. Let's hear from him now.
Yeah, last transition is maybe the most difficult because you just finish difficult effort, very lactic. So you have to put it down the lactic. You have to run a little bit to evacuate, and you have to focus to the last event. You know a little bit your place with what you can do. It's really important to be focused. Shooting will be the first thing after swimming, so you have to stretch your hand, your arm, and be ready to give all in, like you said, to finish the best way possible. And it's difficult, but it's like a bit think like oh, you are the last. It's the last event, so you don't need to think more. You know, in 10 minutes you have finished, or give your best, and after we can recover.
Welcome everybody back to Cairo, Egypt, where at the back of your shot you won't be able to see Valentin Below showing us videos of his newborn baby. Congratulations to Valentin Below, and of course to his partner Elodie Clouvel. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Valentin Below, who was competing in semi-final A. We promised you a special guest. Kind of a bit of a big deal around these parts. We introduced you, the one, the only, the Olympic gold medalist is Ahmed El Gendi.
Hello.
I feel like you should have a round of applause.
Hi James, how are you?
Ahmed, I'm good.
All
How
good?
are you?
Yeah, all good, all good. And thank you for the great introduction.
Well, listen, you deserve it and much more. You are the Olympic champion. It is always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Listen, I've got lots of questions for you.
Yeah.
Firstly, we're going to talk about the competition, and I want to talk about how life is for you. You're obviously not competing here in Egypt.
Yes.
You're thinking about coming back, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I totally think about coming back again to the field, and I just started trainings again, trying to get back to the competitions. Hopefully by the end of this season. I'm not pushing myself, but if I could make it to the World Championships this year in China, maybe I will do it. But
That's the aim,
yeah,
World Championships.
But if not, so I would start from next season, and we'll see. Yeah.
Next season, when things start to get real serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, I want to take you back to World Championships 2024. You were fencing, I think it was in semi-finals?
It's semi-finals in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the Olympics. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the semi-finals. Yeah, in the ranking round of the semi-finals. Yeah, I dislocated. Yeah,
and you dislocated your shoulder.
Yeah, and I dislocated my shoulder.
6 weeks later, you won an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
How?
Actually, I don't know the answer, but it was like because of all of the hard work and the dedication from all the team, like from my coaches, my family, and
your wife as well.
Yeah, my
by
wife
the way.
as well, and she was still my fiance, but she was the lucky charm for me. Like so, like in Paris, we worked hard for it. after Tokyo, actually, when also I did my first operation in my shoulder, and it was like 1 year off. Then I got back to the competition in 2023. So we had like 2 tough years before Paris, but we did all what we can do. So in Paris we got the gold medal. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you too many more questions about Paris, because I truly believe that there is not a question on this planet that you haven't already been asked. I could try to find one, but listen, I want to hear your thoughts on the current competition. Firstly, swimming is very different now. You're a very quick swimmer, so I look forward to see how you're going to get on with this new format of swimming. But like 100 meters is very different. It's like kind of how mixed relay swimming was. Like you've just got a flat sprint for 100 meters.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't try it yet. The new format of the model pentathlon, like the 100 meters, also the 5 shooting series. It was but now it's 5 shooting series. But for the swimming, I think 100 meters it's not easier than the 200 meters, because in the 200 meters we had the space to not put the maximum effort in the 200 meters, but in the 100 meters you don't have this room to save your energy. You have to do it very fast. So it's there's more effort in the 100 meters.
It's fun to watch though, because athletes were definitely holding back. Like they were conserving a little bit of energy. Yeah. You know, I'll use Zhou Chung as an example. Yeah. He was capable of swimming like at his best, like a 1:52. He was swimming like 2:06, 2:07. So the athletes were not giving it everything, and now they are, which I'm enjoying seeing, and I look forward to seeing how you compete as well. How are the shoulders going to cope with obstacles, by the way?
It's getting better.
Change your
it's
style,
getting better,
don't you?
It's getting better, and for the OCR we are targeting a technique which I can cope with the OCR. So hopefully I can make it to the OCR without any problems.
Just before we continue our build up to the start of the laser run, I'm going to hand my headset over to Mariam, your wife, and Mariam is going to ask you some questions. Your wife is going to interview you live on the air here in Cairo. Good luck, my friend.
Hello, stranger.
Hello.
So, I probably already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyways. So what do you think of the change in laser run? I mean, you have that 20, 30 meter start, and then you head on right to the shooting range. What do you think of that change?
This change, because before Tokyo, it was also the same format, but it was 800 meters, 4 times 800 meters. But I love the shooting series in the beginning of the race because I think it gives more advantage to the good shooters. And 5 shooting series, not only 4 shooting series. It's also much better for the good laser runners. So I'm waiting to try it. So I can. I'm very excited to try it and
give it a go.
Yeah.
And how do you prepare for that? I think we saw in semi-final A was Mutaz Mohammed. He took like a little lie on the fencing piece, and he was meditating or breathing, or you have to do something to calm your nerves down before heading into the first series, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Because for the shooting, generally you have to meditate well before you enter the shooting range, because you are running.
Breathing exercises.
Yeah, I like the breathing exercises before entering the shooting range, trying to cooling down a little bit, trying to get the heart rate down.
Yeah.
So
you're less shaky.
Yeah, less shaking, and also focusing only on my target. My target, so I can do the best of it.
So it's a big mental game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best mental game. I love it. Yeah.
You like the challenge?
Yes, I love it.
Well, listen, it was great hearing from you. I'll see you back home.
Thank you.
For now, we'll get back to live.
Good luck in the commentary. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
James.
Back on to James.
Ahmed Al-Gendi's toughest interview yet. Hard-hitting questions from his wife, Mariam. Very cute. Thank you, Ahmed. We appreciate you, man. We'll see you very soon. Ahmed Al-Gendi. the Olympic gold medalist, answering to his wife. The listen,
I don't know what my title is anymore.
we've made this joke before, but like Ahmed won gold in 2024, then won gold again in 2025 when he married you.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, he did.
Kinda. Yeah, I'm obviously very proud of him, and I'm excited to see him back in the circuit. I mean, it kind of feels like something's missing when he's not competing. Obviously, he's been recovering, and hopefully he'll be back at it very, very soon.
It's also partly your gold medal, by the way. I saw the work you went, the effort you went to make sure he won.
You know what?
gold.
I think every single athlete has some sort of support system that keeps them going, and without it, that athlete might feel lost, and it's not an easy task being a supporter of someone who has big, huge dreams. And I think he has to sacrifice something. I have to sacrifice some things, and it's all in pursuit of this big dream. Every athlete has that support system, and I'm just glad to be a part of his journey, obviously.
Well, we've enjoyed watching it unfold here in the modern pentathlon media world. Let's hone in on semi-final B, as there is going to be some changes in this order. I can almost promise you that. It's currently Bala Shep in 9th place, 53 seconds off the lead. Mohamed Shabana second behind him. Ugo Floro 5 seconds off those top 9 positions. Berezavic 6 seconds off.
It's very tight.
Lu, Karachin, Chen, Tuma, Nestarau, all within 25 seconds or so for the top 5 position.
This is crazy.
This is good. This is what we like.
This is good TV.
It's good TV. It's good competition. It's
they're going to push each other to the limits as well. Yeah, I'm so excited for the shooting.
What do you think happens to that first shooting range? Because, well, actually, Mohamed Al-Hashkar has a 21-second head start.
I saw him in the qualifications. To be completely fair, he was shooting really, really well.
He was chilling.
Yeah, I felt like he had that. He didn't have that pressure of performing that much, and he was a bit more chilled out, which
Honestly,
I like.
The top 3 could have quite lonely races. Al-Ashkar's 20 seconds ahead of Hassan. Hassan's 12 seconds ahead of Roshat. Roshat's Roshat could get pulled into that battle. 9 seconds, as you can see the standings there, ahead of Dog. And then look at that. 2 seconds separates 4th and 5th and 6th.
This is crazy.
We look forward to the next page. So 41 seconds for Marvin Dog, don't forget that. 44, that's 3 seconds separating Dog in 4th and 7th. I mean, yeah, you're getting scrappy now, aren't you? Because it is so little between it, and I think they all know that. We're in potentially for a really entertaining. What we like here in our very comfortable commentary box is 5 or 6 athletes scrapping for their lives.
Like the action.
Like 9th, like 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th to be separated by a few seconds.
Yeah.
And people diving over the line and sweat dripping and tussling past each other on the track, obviously all fairly. People panicking in the shooting range. This is the drama that we love in pentathlon. And I'm not even going to try and pretend otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part it does help this is the thing with sports. You're pushing each other to the limits, but you're also pushing your own limits, and they keep doing that for each other, which makes the sport even better and the times even faster, and yeah, it just keeps developing the sport. So athletes at the start-finish line now, checking their handicap times. This is gonna be one for the books. The semi-final B in the first World Cup of the season here in Cairo. So just a reminder then, Al-Ashkar will be starting in first with quite the gap, 21 seconds. Starting in second is going to be Hassan, and then Roshat, and then things get budged up.
Special mention to Egyptian athlete Ali Abdul El Fattah, who's been through injury issues and is making his way back. I feel a future Olympian, by the way. He's watching from home and messaging saying he is enjoying the coverage. So thank you, Ali. Right, we're getting close to the starts of men's semi-final B. And our coverage begins here, led out of the blocks by Mohamed Al-Ashkar, who he's going to hope he's lonely on this race.
Yeah, lonely's.
We've not seen anyone run straight past the shooting range yet, by the way, because it's a habit, isn't it? Like, you expect that first lap to be the formation lap, as we called it before.
Yeah, so straight into the shooting range. This is looking like quick shooting from Al-Ashkar so far. Misses his third shot, gets it now. And now Hassan is off the blocks into the shooting range. He goes, good shooting from Al-Ashkar. Misses a bit on his fifth now. He needs to make his fifth shot. This is getting costly for Al-Ashkar. Up to 19 seconds now with no fifth shot. 21, his first shooting series. Hassan in the shooting blocks now, as does the other athletes coming in to the shooting range. Hassan is almost out now. It's 14 seconds. This is...
And we expected this. Listen, it's a nervy part at the start of the race. So Al-Ashkar with a slow shoot, Hassan with a slow shoot, and Roshat's closed that gap right up. So the front three are away. What about the chasing pack? Dog, Sich, Takiani, Lukesh. Lukesh is away. Good shooting by Lukesh. Sub 9 seconds. Dog with solid shooting. Sich with solid shooting. Tarkani with solid shooting. What about the chasing pack? This is now the battle for night. This is where things get really interesting. Sepp with a really good shoot. We expect that from Sepp. Shaban with a very good shoot. Floro with a good shoot. Les dropping back. Lou, by the way, with a 7.7 second shoot. So, top 10, a bit of a breakaway here. But that battle for ninth is, well, that could be a top 9 battle, couldn't it? It's currently Shaban up into 9th place.
Yeah,
being closely followed by Floro.
Yeah, just a second behind him here. It's going to be down to the wire. It is still early stages of this race, so they're not going to be pushing themselves too hard. They're going to be probably pacing themselves together. Ugo Floro doesn't want to make any big moves just yet. Here we go then. Our leaders making their way back to the shooting range. Al-Ashkar on the start-finish straight. But these are 9th and 10th up on your screen. 9th currently held by Mohamed Shaban. Ugo Floro is so close by now.
Yeah, I mean, you do wonder whether or not they start to climb and put pressure on those further ahead. We're going to turn our attention to Mohamed Al-Ashkar into the shooting range again. A slow first shoot, but he still has a decent lead. Let's see how he gets on at the range now. It's 2 out of the 5. Solid this from Al-Ashkar. 3 out of the 5. 4 out of the 5 for Al-Ashkar. This is better. Final target. Struggling on that 5th. There we go. 11 seconds. That's more like it. And away Al-Ashkar goes. What about Hassan? It was a 20-second shoot for him first time round. Missed the first and the second. Slow from Hassan. Hassan finally makes his first target, but needs... There we go. He's found his range now. It's a bit more like it. Roshat, I think, will move up into 2nd place here. There we go. Hassan with a better shoot. 14 seconds. Found his rhythm, and there we go. Roshat with 10 seconds as well. Now, we don't want to see anyone getting caught out here, but just quite a few athletes at the range now. Lukesh with the 14-second shoot. Floro, you can see he's shooting top right there.
All over the place.
Just as you say that, it's like he heard you. It's a few misses. 4 out of the 5. You can see where those red dots are going. There we go. Floro still at the range, by the way.
Shaban's out, lays out, Lou's out.
Yeah, but Floro has dropped down. So we'll see how things reset. Shaban is up into 9th place, but Floro has dropped. So...
Yeah, look at that. Shaban in 9th lane, 10th. Floro down to 11th. He is out of the qualifiers as things stand. He needs to find his rhythm in shooting.
Well, this is a nice shot here because we can see actually that Le has dropped down and is now putting pressure on Shaban. Floro as well. So we've got a 3-way battle for 9th, which is fun to watch. Shaban, Floro, and Le. And that looks like Lou making his way into the picture of things as well. So Floro back up into 9th place. Shaban just pacing himself. He's got a big sprint finish, Shaban, so he's probably not putting in too much energy. We're only at the halfway stage of this race. 2 shooting routines done, 3 still to go.
So 9th place is Ugo Floro, being chased down by Le and Mohamed Shaban. He's gonna have to pull off something incredible in the shooting range because it's not even like his shots are bunched up together. He needs to find his cool and focus on one shot at a time. Al-Ashkar in the range.
Yeah, Al-Ashkar back shooting well. 9 seconds on the clock. And 12.94, that's decent. I mean, no one's going to complain too much about that unless you're in a battle for first and the person before you shoot 6 seconds, it can happen, but it's better. Nice guy. Hassan shooting well as well here. I say that. Rochat moves ahead. Hassan with a 14 second. He's fine. Listen, we're in semi-finals here. Lukasz as well. Sic and Sepp now. Keeping an eye on them. Sic is away, Sepp is away. 4 out of the 5 for Dog.
Dog's out in 7th place.
Back with Fleureau, who struggled a little bit the last shooting rounds. Ley's making his way back into the top 10, so we'll get a little update on the scores in a moment in terms of who is where. That battle for 9th continues on. Ley is back up into 8th place, Shaban 9th, and Lou all over the back of Shaban. So Shaban holds on to 9th place, but you can see Sepp has dropped quite, not Sepp, sorry, Targiani has dropped back.
And so up in 9th place now is Shuelo, just past Mohamed Shaban on that straight.
Fleureau coming back strong though. Fleureau's being made to work hard on the track. We still have 2 shooting routines to go. Fleureau all over the back of Lowe. Lowe starting the race in 14th place. Now up into that magic coveted 9th spot. Shaban's not looking too quick running wise, but I do feel he's saving a bit of energy for that final lap.
Yeah,
maybe
I think he
senses the sprint finish.
Yeah,
he's
expertise
managing
is kicking
himself
in.
well. Although he's dropped off a little bit there. Tim Ley, Lou and Fleureau, 8th, 9th and 10th. 2 of those athletes currently would make their way through. Alashkar is heading towards his penultimate shooting routine, but we're not too worried about that. Fleureau and Ley battling for 9th and 10th place. Shaban has now been overtaken on the track by Tarkiani, who is making his way back after dropping down the order. Alashkar back at the range in the top right-hand corner of your shot. This is shooting routine 4 for Alashkar. And there you can see the front 3. Alashkar with a sub-9 second shoot. That's more like it. He's finding his rhythm. What about Rochat? Hassan is slow at the starting of these shooting routines. Finally makes his first target. Lukasz with a sub-9. Rochat with a sub-11. Hassan slow here. So Hassan wants to get this done. Sepp with a sub-9 second. Sic is slow as well. This is really slow from Hassan. Needs to get that 5th shot done. 23.5. Thought there for him as Dogue moves potentially ahead of Hassan, or at least move close to him. Here we go then. This is where the battle for 9th is going to be won or lost. Not necessarily this lap, but definitely next match. Tarkiani looking to move back up the order. Tarkiani started in 6th place and has now moved back into that top 9. Good shooting from Tarkiani. Ley with a 20-second shoot, that's not enough. Shaban with a 17.8, that's put pressure on him. Fleureau with a 28.3, that's put pressure on him, and that brings the likes of Tuma back into the mix. So a real mix-up of things there. Chen and Lou comfortably inside that top 8 now.
Yeah, Tarkani holding on to 9 now and has opened up the gap with a good shoot.
Lots of drama, lots of mixing up here. Chen's moved up 5 places. Lou has moved up 6 places from 14th into 8th. Tarkiani started in 6th, is now down into 9th place and has a little bit of a gap over himself and Ley. It's a decent gap as well. We're seeing it just running in front of us now. So that's about 4 or 5 second gap. And then a little bit further back is Bailang Chen, who's running a good race. Fleureau is looking very quick on the track. Shaban is holding on, but that's quite a distance he's fallen there. He's going to need a really good final shoot. Otherwise, Shaban could be about to drop out of this competition.
Yeah, here we go. Final shooting series is going to be everything for these athletes as Alashkar makes his way back to the shooting range. Look at that. That is Tarkani in 9th.
So approaching the final stages of this race, the final shooting routine. Into the shooting range go our leaders. Alashkar with a brilliant final shoot. Safely out the range, and we'll see him in the final. Rochat out of the range, Sepp out of the range, Lukasz out the range as well. It's been a really solid laser run for Lukasz, and he is out of the battle a little bit further back. Here we go though. What's happened there?
Marvin Dog has experienced some technical difficulties with
Oh
his...
no, Marvin Dog's in trouble here. Marvin Dog's had to go to the reserve shooting range. He's out. So Dog is still in that top 9, but my goodness me, he had to concentrate there. Chen, Le, Shaban, Floral, Tuma, we're all battling here for that final 9th place position. It's Dog in 8th place. It is Tarkani in 9th place. Florose looked quick on the track the whole way through this. Shaban's not a million miles away. He can still make his way back into the race. Chen as well is there. Le is there. It's all still to play for. Currently Tarkani in 9th place. The Hungarian closing in on Dog. But there is a battle manifesting behind. I don't know if they've got the legs for this, by the way, because that's quite a big gap. Can Tarkani keep that pace going? Tarkani still in 9th place. Florel is trying to gain. He's putting absolutely everything in this. The crowd are going absolutely wild, but Tarkani currently holds that position. Mahana Shaban saved a bit of energy for the big sprint finish. We knew he would. He's got quite some ground to make up. He's all over the back of Florel, but Florel is in 10th place. That won't be enough for Shaban to make his way into the final. They are closing that gap. It is going to go right down to the wire, this. Dog has got enough in the pace as well. The leaders are making their way over the finish line, but we won't focus too much on them because it's all about that battle for 9th. It is currently Tarkani who is holding on to that place. Mahana Shaban is putting in a really monumental final effort. It's going to go right down to the finish line. It is Tarkani versus Shaban, but I think Tarkani has just enough of a gap. He does. Shaban comes home in 10th place. Floro having to settle for 11th. Congratulations to Tarkani, who managed that pace in that final lap beautifully. Shaban had that final bit of pace going into that final sprint finish, but it wasn't enough. Shaban and Florel drop out of the competition.
That was intense, to say the least. I think Mahana Chavan really had to turn it up a bit earlier to get through and make it into that. He was so close, but where did he get that extra bit of pace?
Ultimately, it was the mistake he made on the tilting ladders that have cost him his place, because he had to work so much harder on that later on than he would have wanted to today.
That is
and
true.
it's cost him.
Yeah, I think that was...
place. Oh, it's such a frustrating place for athletes, isn't it? Dog, by the way, did brilliantly.
He did.
Oh, was some issue in the shooting range?
Yeah, he managed that beautifully, and to be able to like hold his nerves through that and get through it and just finish that last shooting series and out into running he goes. He was incredible.
I would love to hear the thoughts of Marvin Dog, to hear how he got through that. That was in itself an amazing story to document, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was just insane. So there you have it, folks. The top 9 in the semi-final B will be joining us tomorrow for the men's final. Lukash, El-Ashkar, Rosha, Sepp, Du, Hassan, Sich, Dog, and Tarkani in good fashion.
Wow, that was a good semi-final. It was not the result that the Egyptians wanted, that Shaban wanted. It was definitely the result that Tarkani wanted. Brilliant pace from him at the end of that race. Alashkar doing well up front. Hassan, Roshat, and well, Dog being made to work hard for it. But we're just seeing the opening stages of the race.
Yeah, here's the thing though, we've moved on from semi-finals. We're going into the finals tomorrow, and some of the athletes are going to have to fine-tune those mistakes, namely Al-Ashkar. He had some issues with the shooting earlier on, and so tomorrow there are medals up for grabs, and he needs to really hone in on that, and yeah, hopefully things go smoothly for him. Mohamed obviously just missing out on qualification. That was a tough one.
Yeah, Shaban and Floro were locked together for the majority of that race. You had to feel Floro, by the way, who his competition kind of came unstuck at the start of the day at the fencing direct elimination.
Yeah, he started it out in first place from this seeding round, and just didn't go his way. That's the thing, some of the athletes really benefit from the direct elimination. They move up the standings significantly, and then some of them just drop all the way down.
That was the moment that Dog just said, look, my target's not working. Went over to the reserve. That's very, very professional work.
That is experience. I don't think the youngsters would have made that call.
but that could have cost him a place in the final.
Yeah.
I would have been devastated for Doug if that had happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that likely to have been a technical error with the shooting range, or?
Yeah, it was probably an issue with the target if he did move over to the reserve target.
That's
and
the
it
first
worked.
time we've ever seen that happen, or it probably happened before and I've not noticed it happen, but
yeah, it's
he acknowledged
quick
it.
thinking. It's quick thinking from him for sure.
And that the rule is that you can do that, right? You can move over to the
if your
reserve.
target isn't working and
you raise your hand and you move over, right?
Yeah.
Whew. Well, exciting semi-final as we thought it might be. Lukasz, Alaska, Roshat, Sepp, Hassan and Lou. First, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Sic, Dog and dramatically Tarkani taking those final qualification spots. Missing out on Super Sunday, Shaban, Floro and Tuma a little bit further back.
Yeah, looking further back, 13th down to 18th. Missed on qualification, but good efforts from them.
That is the conclusion of men's semi-final B. And you know what that means next? It is, of course, Super Sunday. Men's and women's final, both taking place tomorrow. We can't wait. We'll see you all then. Thanks for tuning in. It's bye for now.
Flying through the air. Wow, that is unbelievable.
43 moves once again. Makes it look easy.
Unbelievable talent. He's got himself into the lead. Mile ahead.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving world